The SHAC Shack. My name's Barbara Gray from Clarity Crafts here in the UK, and it's lovely to have your company. We're back in the shack. Is anybody there apart from me? Let's have a look, and then I'll know whether our Paul is keeping us company too, because he'll be in the room with you. If you have any questions, it's nice to be back. I just want to make sure that I've switched on all the buttons, flicked all the switches. You know, I'm working from home above the garage today, and so I'm just hoping that it's working. Hey, come on in. Looks like we've already got a few friends joining us. Good morning from Peterborough. Hi, Sheila. Nice to have your company. Right, now I can't see. Morning, Josie. Just see a couple of little messages coming in. There's a new little dial on my screen that says there are 35 people in the room. Morning, Jane. Happy belated birthday to you, my love. And yeah, it's been a few weeks, hasn't it? Come on in. Paul's with us. He says the sound is nice and clear. I've got a lovely little treat that I doodled yesterday evening that I thought you would really enjoy. And I decided that it's time to get back in the shack. It's interesting how you miss it. I can only speak for myself, but it's not just getting together for me. It's also the routine. There's something. It's quite comforting, safe, constructive, creative. It's like going to if you went to a Zen class or a Feng Shui or Tai Chi, it feels like that, doesn't it? And when you take that out of the equation, then there's something missing. There certainly has been for me, and so I just decided that it was time to get back. I'm never going to have a lot of time. The truth of that's the fact. So you either make the time or you lose the shack. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. No, I think it's you don't realize, it's like a lot of things, you don't realize how important it is until it's not there. We always said that about the greengrocer up the road, didn't we? We didn't use him though. Well, I did. And then all of a sudden he was gone. Now you have to buy all your vegetables at the supermarket, and it's not as good, is it? Not that I'm not comparing myself to the greengrocer, but you know what I mean. You don't realize how important something is until it's gone. So there you go. And we're back in the shack. Nice to have your company. 120 people. Well, I say. Can you imagine if you opened your front door and there were 120 people there? Have you got your cup of tea? Are you ready to rock and roll? And how are you? And how have you been? How are you? And how have you been? Hey, come on, glasses steamed up. I know it's been a rough few weeks, hasn't it? Has here. And then the Queen dying. Bang. We knew it was going to happen one day. We just, the reality's different, isn't it? And I think that's when I realized that I was in a bit of a slump anyway. I don't know about you. And then with my dad being so ill, thank you for always asking. I know a lot of you asked me, and he's not well. He's not a well man. And one step forward, two steps back, in and out of hospital. It's not easy for him. It's not easy to watch, but it's even more difficult for him, But there you go. I'm trying to get some acceptance around that. And yesterday I sat with a couple of good girlfriends and I listened very carefully to them. And there are so many of us in the same boat. So many of us in the same boat. And many people have got it a lot worse than me, Yesterday when I was listening, it was kind of reminiscent of that Bridget Jones. Have you seen that scene in the film where she's in the prison with all the Thai girls and they're telling her what's wrong in their lives? And then she realizes that actually you know, the fact that matey didn't treat her very nicely at the last dinner party. You know, it's pathetic, really. And I had that sort of sense yesterday when I was listening to the ladies. I thought, yeah, could always be worse, Barbara. Could always be a hell of a lot worse, you know, really, really. So there you go. Everybody's in the room, I hope. And it's just gone 10 o'clock. And I think it's time to doodle. If you're new to the shack and you don't know who is this bird that's rabbiting on, this bird is Barbara. And every Monday and Thursday we get together, don't we? Unless I'm on telly, in which case we can't. But we get together and we doodle, or we colour in, we hang out, we philosophize, we banter, we laugh, we cry, and all that good stuff. And you rock. And you're welcome to join us. Today, all you need is a pen and a piece of paper, really. And if you don't want to join in, you just want to sit and watch, do you know what? That's fine too. We're here to keep you company. We're here to keep you company. If you've got any questions, then Paul's the man, and he will give you any answers, I'm sure. I can't talk, doodle, and answer questions. That's one too many for me. So shall I show you what I came up with? It's real simple. I thought we would travel gently, as we do, and we'll do something really easy and keep it simple. Did you like those new stamps, the Kiss range? Oh, I know, beautiful. So I thought we'd do this. Let's have a look. So I doodled this yesterday. I'm into the panels at the moment. I like the panels. I like small. I like simple. And I thought, now that is easy, isn't it? Come on, piece of cake, Pat Hoskins. How are you, my love? Are you there? Is Pat in the room? Yes, she is. Good morning, one and all. Nice to be together again. Interesting. And Ken too. Great. Yeah, Kiss. Keep it simple. Keep it simple stamps. Keep it simple stencils. Keep it simple. And you can see up here, it says Clarity Crafts. I wanted to explain that, just in case you're wondering, the website's changed names, the Facebook page has changed names. Nothing going on, nothing ulterior, nothing that I wouldn't tell you about at all. It's just that we decided that after nearly 30 years, we are so much more than just a stamp company. You know, my first love is certainly stamps, but we've got so much more going on. And so we decided to rename ourselves Clarity Crafts. So now we're Clarity Stamp Limited, because that would be way too much to start changing company's house and all that. Clarity Stamp Limited, trading as Clarity Crafts. That works, doesn't it? I think that's the right way around. Yeah, so there you go. Same company, same people, same products, same everything. Just decided to update ourselves, really. Reboot. Sorry I'm late. Good morning, Bev. Lovely to have your company. Come on in. Isn't it great? We all got here. Do you know, I was thinking to myself earlier, if I could swing it and make a living just off the shack, if we could keep things going at Clarity just off the shack, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do every morning, like we did in the lockdown period, during COVID. I'd really love to do that, but not possible. So we do what we can. I do Mondays and Thursdays and Paul does Tuesdays, and it works. It really does. So let's have a look at this artwork. Shall we get going? And I'll tell you where, let's just do a little step by step to get started, because obviously it's all about the positioning and the size, etc., etc., etc. Right, so this is a 5x5. Where did I find my 5x5? I took a card blank because I think this is how I roll. I took a card blank and then I scored but folded, and then I cut it down there, and then I had 2. So that's where I found my 5x5. But you can use a piece of copy paper. You can use anything. Okay, there you go. And then what I did, I took a ruler, because I need to get my positioning. You know, you could eyeball it if you feel comfortable doing that. And I tell you what, I thought it would be good instead of going tracing paper and all that. We don't need that with this one. This is a really just a lovely, grungy, arty sesh. And I thought we'll get the line art down today, maybe even ink it. That would be lovely. And then on Monday when we get together, we can add some colour. How's that sound? You know, 2 little sessions, make a lovely card, lots of ideas. Let's give it a go. So what we're going to do is about 1/2 inch in. Let's just make some boxes. And these aren't the finished boxes. And I'm using a centimetre. It really doesn't, it's not crucial. But it's about, say, call it about 1/2 inch in. Yeah. And then just make a really light box all the way around. This will give you, what that does is, it just gives you a border, okay? And it gives you an equal border. So I'm just going about, it's about 1/2 inch, isn't it? 1,5 centimeters. Marion, bist du im Zimmer? Bist du auch da? If Marion's there, 1,5 centimeters for our metric friends, or about 1/2 inch will do. Got to give yourself a little bit of space. Right. What pencils am I using? I'm using my Faber-Castell. You can use any pencils you like, HB. We sell some really good pencils, you know, when we're getting into the sketching and the drawing and the shading and what have you. Here it is. There you go. H for hard, B for black. So the blacker they get, the higher the number. 5B is very black, very soft. See? So it goes from soft to normal, medium, HB, somewhere in the middle, and then it goes up to really hard. So there you go. They're worth having, if you don't mind my saying so. Now, we've done that. So we've got our box around the outside. Now we're going to make our panel. So for me, all I did was, I know you're going to say, what is it exactly? What measurement? I used the depth of the ruler. So my eyes are saying that it's 2 inches in from the outside. I'd say it's about 2 inches. I bet it is. There you go. Let's have a look. Me personally, I'm a bit of an inch girl. If you tell me something's... There you go. What did I say? 2 inches on the nose. I think that's a sign of my age. The fact that inches, if somebody says something's 6 inches long, I know exactly how long it is. If they say it's 9 centimeters, I have to think a bit harder about that. I have to do a little mini conversion in my head. Come on, hands up. Who's with me? Who's an inch girl? Who's an inch girl? Oh no, a bit smutty, isn't it? Come on, back to the job. So I've got 2 inches in from the edge. That's cool. And then I'll turn it round. And you know what? I'm going to go 2 inches in from that edge as well. There you go. Or the width of my Pergamano ruler. Keep it simple. So that's this board. I know it looks bigger because it's going to be. That's that border. And that's that border. And then we've got these two in the middle. All right. So you can make that any size you want. Let's just go like that. And then let's make this one, oh, I don't know. You can make this any size you like. Random, bit smaller, bit taller. Cool. You can't see this, can you? Because I'm doing it so lightly. I'm doing it lightly because I don't want to have pencil marks all over my work. Can you see that all right? There it is. Paul, is that visible to the naked eye? I'll put that there. And then you can see it there. Look. So what we're going to do now is take said pencil and we're going to go round the outside of this. So if you look really carefully at mine now, you can see the ruler lines, but then look what I've done around the outside. Do you see? Yes. Wiggling lines around the outside, like so. Okay. So then what we'll do is and don't overthink this. This is really not to be, don't overthink it. Just go, do a little swirl, do a little twirl. You know, we can always add the bigger twirls and be arty, get a bit artier afterwards. I would say the more important thing to do is not press too hard. That's more important, okay? Because then you can always go back over it. So here we go. And I'm just going to do like a really light decal like that. I'll come along here like so. I might do a little wiggle. I'll come along here like that. I'll come along this bottom one. Not going to worry about it. I can do a little squiggle like so. Don't get caught up in it. We can always come back round afterwards and do the swirls. We can add the swirls, look, the swirls and twirls. We can do that afterwards. No problem. Let's just get our basic idea in, right? We're going to go like that. I'm going to go like that. Round we go. Everyone's original. Round we go, like that. Up we go again. Okay. Go along here. And do the same on this one. That's it. So all we've done is given ourselves a bit of a swirly. There you are. And like I say, don't overthink it, because we can always come back and go again. We can always add the detail and the swirls afterwards. Just don't press too hard. So I'm sorry if you can't see what I'm doing, but I can't press too hard, otherwise I'll spoil it. Right, there you go. So we've done that now, but don't worry about that. We do that afterwards. Detail. Okay. Now the next thing is the flowers. So my suggestion is we start with a large one. Have we got any newcomers in the room? Hello, if you're a newcomer. Be lovely to have your company. I hope you don't think we're too cliquey or too familiar or over. Everybody's welcome here. We were all newcomers once upon a time, weren't we? All you need is a pen and a piece of paper to join in. I'm the only one on display. Who's in their pajamas? Hands up. Do you remember when we were in the shack? For me, it was really cool because every morning, 6 o'clock, didn't have to think about it, up, put makeup on, think about what I was going to do, and then we'd get on with it, wouldn't we? And many of you'd be telling me you were drinking your coffee in your PJs. That's where the pajama parties came from. We ought to do a couple more of them. When the winter draws in, we ought to do a few more Friday nights together too, because it's absolute rubbish on the telly, innit? I really enjoyed the craft along last Friday with Linda Williams. Did you not? Who joined in on that? It was great. Yeah, so welcome to the newcomers. And you'll find lots of lovely people in this room. Lots of lovely people. Now, let's have a look. What are we on? Flowers. So we'll look at the flower first. Let's start with this one here. Do you want to try on a bit of scrap first? Let's try it on a bit of scrap, only because it's a little bit, whoa, hang on, straight in. I know. I said scrap, Barbara. Let's have I got a piece of, here we go. There we are. Right, so my thoughts on this were, this is the sort of, the flower, where it starts, it's like a teardrop, like that, right? That's the first one. And then we're moving into this area here. So we're going to start up here. Again, don't overthink it. Out we go and in we go. Out we go. It's like a tulip. Do you remember when we went to Holland? Then we'll go out again and then in again and out again and then in again. There you go. And then if you want to, you can add some peaks at the top there. And there we are. Bob's your uncle. And then when it comes to the colouring in, or the lines, we can just go like that. Look, up, down, up. I didn't even take my pen off, like that. And then these ones, we just spring them in like this. There you go. So that's easy. So the main thing, though, is this one here, teardrop, like a flame, if you like a candle flame. And then these ones. like that. I'm doing it really hard now so you can see it. Okay. And then that one as well. And they don't have to be the same. This is just a thought. I just, listen, I came in here before tea time last night and I thought, I need to know, I'm the bus driver, for crying out loud. I need to know where we're going, Barbara. And then I thought, I know, we'll do a panel. In my loo, in our downstairs loo, I've got this piece of artwork. I'll bring it in on Monday, take it off, we'll bring it in. It needs a dusting. And I bought it years and years and years ago, 20 years ago, in a craft show when we used to sell vases in the tents. And there was a young girl and she did this really lovely artwork, and it was embroidered and it was sewn, and the point is they were just panels. And I every time I sit on the loo, I look at it and I love the simplicity of it. And so on Monday, I'll bring it with me and you'll see where I got the idea from. And hers is kind of applique and pieces of muslin, and the flowers are really loosely, just beautiful, beautiful. Just nice, yeah. So, but I like the panel idea. So now we've got our, have you done a practice one? Did you do a practice one? That's quite big, isn't it, Barbara? Right. So now, of course, you're going to tie it in. So, and don't be afraid to go out of the box. That's half the joy of it, right? So we'll just get going. Don't overthink it. And we're going to put it on, I'm going to put it on a jaunty angle here. Right now, let me see. Okay. Like that. And remember, this is just a doodle. It's not a masterpiece. We've never claimed, have we, that we're experts. That's quite nice. Pop a couple in there. That'll do. So there's my flower. And now I'm going to come down. Sweeping. Look, sweeping. I did 2 legs. Look, I made it look like it's got 2 little legs. I quite like that. Right, ready? So we're going to come down and just let go. Relax your shoulders and just, before you do it, air draw. You know what we call it, air drawing? Where you're just levitating. Your pencil's actually not touching the paper. You're air drawing. So air draw it so you know whereabouts you want the flow, right? And then go back and touch the paper. You are allowed. But just remember, we're no experts in this room. Right, so we're going to come down like that, and then I'm going to sweep round like that. And then I'll put, because that lends itself really nicely to a leaf like that. Then I think I'll pop another one in there like that. There you go. Can you see this okay? And then we're going to pop a leaf inside. Why not? Because that gives us a doodle opportunity. See? So that goes like that, and that goes like that. We can attach it if we want. Right. So that's that and that's that. That's looking pretty cool. That'll do for the moment. See, there's always going to be different, isn't it? Let's get the flowers in. This is a bit busy, this one, but so I won't copy it. Let's just go again. We're going to put, look, let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to put another flower in there. Bit busy. I might thin it out a bit this time, right? And then we're going to put another one down there. And I even put a little bud in. Why not? Let's try the top one. Same thing, looking in again. So let's put a, and also, I'll tell you what we'll do, because I really like that. Should we do that now? Then that will dictate how big this, let's put a swirl in like that. So that's coming in off that edge, see? So that now, I've left enough room now. Otherwise you make your flower and there's no room for the swirl. Okay, here we go again. Drop. And then we're gonna make the tulip. Another one. Another one. Okay, that's better. Prefer it. I think I've got too many on here. 1, 2, 3. I put too many petals on that one. Right, that's better. And then we're going to air draw. That'll do. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Can you see this? Lots of inches in the room. I bet. I bet. Right, now let's do this one. One down here. This time we'll make it face that way and we'll bring it here so we can put a little... Should we put the bud in now? Let's come on, put the bud in. Or at least that bit. The bud's just a tiny little tight. There you go. Bud's in. Bud's in. And now we'll put another one down here. Do you like... I know, I don't even have to ask. I know you like this kind of artwork. I know you do. This is your kind of thing, isn't it? Oh, hello. This one's going to come out of the frame a little bit. Ooh. That'll be nice. There we are. And then we'll make that one do that. Yeah. And I might even... No, I've... Right, and then with this one, we're going to bring him down there. Where am I bringing this? And around there like that. That's nice. In fact, there you go. In the back of the net. And now I've done that, I feel I've got enough room to put one of our little leaves in as well. In fact, and here's another leaf, just so that they all tie in. Pretty. It's not hard, is it? See what I mean, Pat? Piece of cake. For the newcomers in the room, Pat's always joshing with me because sometimes some of our sessions haven't been that easy, but I always jest and say, it's a piece of cake. The horses at Camelot were not a piece of cake, I'll give you that. they were not a piece of cake. I don't know how many hundreds of sessions are now recorded on our Clarity YouTube channel. But never say that you're bored or there's nothing on the telly, because there must be, well, 360. There must be 300. I don't know. Paul, give us a clue. How many are there on YouTube of our little trips? When we were in lockdown to start with, we went all over the world, didn't we? We went to Japan. Where did we go? Japan, Holland, New Mexico, Africa, didn't we? It was brilliant. Because we couldn't go anywhere, we decided we'd go, the old John Keats thing, ever let the fancy roam, pleasure never is at home. And so we just got on the bus, didn't we? On the old SHAC bus. We went all over the world and we drew amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Yeah. I have to say, it improved my drawing skills no end. There's no way, no how, say, in our crafting lives pre COVID, that I could have popped in here before tea last night and rustled up a little floral tribute, to the shack in 10 minutes flat and been back inside in time for pizza. Never. But because it's the repetition thing, isn't it? It's like our friend Elizabeth says, the more you do, the better you get. And the better you get, the more you want to do. So true, isn't it? Paul says, currently we're on episode 279 of the Shack. That's 279 hours, friends. Amazing. But it's just good for the soul, getting together with familiar faces and friends. But it's certainly improved my drawing game. What about you? I know it has. I see your artwork. I see your artwork, and it all starts with a pencil, doesn't it? So I've done that. Now, before we ink, what we ought to do at this point is add these bits, because in a minute you're gonna not have any room. So it's about, where do you want to put them? I'm not going to look at that. I'm just gonna, because it's about the balance, isn't it? You could put a little one in or a big one. Like there's one. That sits right. See, so you step away and you look at what you're doing and you think, See, that one's quite nice going out that way. I like that one there. Don't want to overcook it though. Do I want, I feel I want to put one in here. There, like that. That's it. See, it's funny, when you actually do it, it doesn't feel too much at all, does it? I'm going to put one in there, like that. Nice. And I feel I want to put something in here, but maybe not actually. How about there? Yeah, that's it. Little tiny one. That's it. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. Yeah, I like it. And then these bits, we can do all that. We don't have to pen that. The infill stuff, do we have to do it with a pencil first? I think now, my thoughts on this are that we pen now. We do this and then we can go back with our pencils if we, yeah, we could do the pencil work afterwards. Let's get the framework in, the outline, and then we can go from there. Okay. Pens. I'm going to use our micron pens. These are good. I'm going to use the number 1, and then I'll probably do the really fine one, the 005, when I go in to do the inside lines. Right, let me get my scrap, make sure that I've got a nice clean pen. When you use these pens, just twizzle the top, twizzle the nib. You don't have to press hard with these. You literally are just pulling. Pulling's easier than pull it down. Yeah, just drag. Shall we go for it? I'm gonna, because I'm left-handed, I'm gonna reach across and do this side first. Right, here we go. So now, and this is where you just don't overthink it, just go for it. Honestly, you don't have to worry about whether these are perfect squiggles, because you know what? That's exactly what they are. And it's the overall impression that's going to really, and if you want to go round, add bits that weren't there, like this, way, that'll work well. Now we'll pull it. That's it. Go slowly and relax into it. Cool, it's very relaxing, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, I like this. Nice. We've done things like this before, haven't we? There, doesn't that look pretty? That'll do. Next one. Right. Okay. Still have to concentrate though, don't you, when you're doing this, I find. Don't you? Yeah. So there's sort of a fine balance, isn't there, between not overthinking it, traveling gently, just letting your hand squiggle along. There you are. It's looking all right, Barbara. So Paul came back off his holiday, didn't you, love? He went to, he hasn't had a holiday for what? 3 years? 2 years, Paul? When was the last time you had a break? So he goes to Wales, right? He goes to Wales and it rains the entire time. I know. You couldn't write it, could you? So he ended up in the middle of nowhere in Wales for a fortnight. And if you know Paul but a little, you'll know that that is not his idea of fun. Paul's a New York man. Remember we went to New York, Paul? Took him to New York. Had a treat, didn't we? Now that's Paul Church. He didn't talk much in New York. He spent the entire week like that. So Paul for a fortnight in a field in Wales in the rain. I couldn't even begin to imagine. Poor bloke. So then, right, he comes back and he said, I got you something. He said, there weren't many shops, right? So he says, I got you something. So he gave me this, like, it had a wrap around it. Had a wrap around it. He goes, I didn't get anyone else anything. So put it in your handbag quick. So anyway, it was a candle, right? It was, lovely, like a nice wax candle. It had a thing around it. And so I put it in my handbag quick. It looked like a scented candle. I thought, oh, that was nice. So I said, thanks very much, Paul. End of the day, I go home and he goes, don't forget to put that cheese in the fridge. I said, what cheese? He said, it's all like brought you some cheese back from Wales. I said, I thought it was a candle. I would have been trying to light it in the evening, thinking, well, this is a bit of rubbish. I can't find the wick. And I said to him, I'm not too partial to this smell. Oh, crikey. We were in stitches, him and his Welsh cheese. Honestly, it did. It looked like a candle. It even had the colour, didn't it? It was a colour of a candle, Paul. I don't think I've got it with me. It's not in my handbag. I know where it is. It's in the fridge. Yeah, I would have been trying to light it, have a Zen moment. It's apparently it's very good cheese, he told me. Yeah, the old eyesight. What can I say? Right, have you done your doodles now? I gave you a chance to catch up there with my waffle. There we are. That'll do. So I've got my 4 panels. You got your 4 panels? Cool. Right, flowers next. Flowers next. I think my number 1 I need a new one. I need a new one. I use it a lot, and I have to say, I think it's, I don't know, it's not bad. Perseveres. Right. That'll do. We're moving the offices at the moment as well, because we're trying to conserve energy. We know what's coming, and so we're trying to move into smaller. We're still in the same building, but rather than heating up a barn of a room for a couple of people, we're moving into smaller rooms, and then we're going to use the other area more intelligently, etc., etc., etc. So the place looks like the proverbial bombs hit it at the moment at work, and so I left Paul to it last night because we're going to share an office. I know, it's very cozy, isn't it, love? We've all had our own offices, and I said, not with these heating bills that are coming our way. I said, we're gonna snuggle up. There's no more of this radiator underneath the desk, Lark. I said, it's going to be body heat that gets us through this winter. So I'm sharing with Paul, and Jazz and Stuart and Jim. They're all in one lovely room. They got the best room at the front. Yeah. So we're all consolidating. I think you have to help yourself. It's all very well and good. The government saying, oh, commercial heating bills are going to be a third less. Yeah, but that's all relative, isn't it? You know? Yeah. I don't need an abacus to work that one out. So that's what we're doing. And I'm not going to catastrophize it. I'm not going to say, oh, we're doomed. I'll let you know when we're doomed. But so at the moment, we're working ahead of we're working ahead a little bit. It's reacting prophylactically, it's called, I think. trying to prepare ourselves and react quickly. We're getting quite used to that. That's exactly what happened during COVID, isn't it? We had to. That's it. We're getting quite good at it. There we are. So the idea is that we're going to shut down one of the warehouses and save on that rent too. But it just requires a lot of consolidation and thinking and planning. You know, it's like a pair of jeans. If you have huge premises, you fill it. It doesn't take long to fill it, you know. And then what happens is you've got to try and get 2 pounds of stuff into a £1 bag. That's what we're trying to do now. Be all right. It'll be all right. Every time I go in the office, I say, right, Operation Consolidate. They all roll their eyes, I know. I think, here we go again. Now where's she going to put me? All right. It's not easy running a business at the moment. It never was easy. Just got more challenging. Anyway, so Paul and I are sharing, aren't we, love? We're attached at the hip anyway, so. Oh, that one went a bit scratchy. Do I want to go over it or do I want to get over it? Okay, that'll do. I think I may have to treat myself. Right, Leaf. How are we doing? Are you doing okay? That's nice. Do you like that? I think that's going to look so nice. Right, now I definitely need to get my eye in for this swirly. I think I might. All right, let's just put one line in. Stop waffling. Here we go. Okay, that'll do. I think I may, just because. Do you think this would look better? Well, Barbara, you're just going to let me do it and then you decide whether you want to join in or not. Yeah. There you are. A double line. I'm making my stalks. Oh, what are they called? Stalks or stems? You decide. Doubles. Gives me something to colour in or not colour in later. Because tomorrow, or Monday, sorry, I was thinking in my mind's eye, I was thinking we'd colour in the background and not the flowers. So if I double up on the stalks or the stems, then there's a little bit of white going through the background. That's all I was thinking. And also, do you know what? You could actually do a little bit of that lovely, you know, when they do that mad where a join is. There, look, zany. Circle. There. Arty farty. Right. Now, leaves. Feels like we've never been anywhere else, doesn't it now? How long have we not been in the shack? A month? Is it a month? Must be. Lovely Grace was home for a fortnight helping me with Dad. Bless her heart. So she went back on Tuesday. Grace is my daughter, my beautiful daughter who lives in New York. Yeah, so it was lovely to spend some time with her. It really was. Right, now I'm going to go for I'm going for it now. the lines. Yeah. I think we need a break. Hang on. Stretch your neck. Stretch your neck. Oh. Because all the time you're looking down, don't you find it's quite having I've put on some weight. That's why I decided this has to change, you know, because my dad is not well. We've come out of COVID. It's layer on layer on layer on layer of SHIT, isn't it? One thing after another. And it doesn't matter how much you fake it to make it and keep smiling. You wake up in the morning and you think, oh, here we go again. Don't you? Is it me? It's like, and then next thing happens, and the next thing happens, and in the meantime, Ukraine is still at war, and Putin is still throwing all his toys out the pram. You've got all this going on in the background. Nothing's gone away. COVID is very real, believe you me. I've been in the hospital several times with Dad, you know, and we've been avoiding COVID by moving him into different wards, and oh God, you know, then Queen, and it's just like bang, 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 layer on layer on layer, and then you just, and it chips away at you. It chips away at your serenity. It chips away at your peace of mind, and then what we in now? Year three, you know, and then suddenly you're not really enjoying your life, and you're not, because there's so much going on. And I think with my dad and all that, that's kind of tipped the scales. It's lovely to see my mum so well. You know, she hasn't got the pressure now of Dad, and she looked after him so well, but she could only do so much, you know. And so she's experiencing the relief now, and she looks younger than she has in years. And I'm carrying the load a bit now with my brother, and you know, and so that sort of tipped the scales a little bit. And then every day is a grind, you know, and you're drained and you're sad. And I thought, Carl, how long can this last? How long is this going to carry on? I have to change my attitude, because the things are still going on. Everything is going on. The Ukraine, you know, COVID, my dad, it's still all happening. Business, blah, 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 right? And I thought, and Gracie hit the nail on the head. She said, you've got to learn to kind of live your life parallel to everything that's going on. So it's like you have to live your life alongside all the crises and the dramas. Don't be in it. Step out of it. And she said that the other week, and I listened, and I couldn't quite not understand. I couldn't absorb what she was saying because I was in it. But now I've stepped away from it a little bit, and I've kind of, metaphorically speaking, it's like I'm handing it over a little bit to a greater power, a higher power. I can't be all things to everyone. There's a lot of stuff I can't change. And I'm sure a lot of you this will resonate with you. There are so many things we're trying to do because we are helpers, we are fixers, we're all that. And some things you can't help, you can't fix. And then we take it all on, you know, and then before you know it, you're anxious and unhappy. And it's all stuff that you can't do anything about anyway. And so what I'm trying to do now is kind of not move away. I'm not neglecting anything, but I'm just detaching with love. I'm just saying, right, this is going on. I can't do anything about it. There's no point in my paddling around, you know, freaking everybody out as well because I'm so unhappy, you know. So now and I bet you understand me. I'm just trying to live my life one day at a time and get some joy back in my life, and start looking after myself a little bit, you know, because we are very selfless, aren't we? We forget all about ourselves, you know. So yeah, one day at a time. But I'm kind of trying to turn it around a little bit. And the shack's a really important part of that. I'm sure a lot of you get exactly what I mean here. We lose ourselves in problems that aren't really our problems, you know. And if the well runneth dry, what's going to happen when I have a proper problem? You know, I'm exhausting myself trying to help other people with problems. And of course, I'll never tire of doing the next right thing. That goes without saying. But I have to somehow emotionally protect myself because it breaks my heart on a daily basis. So that's no good, is it? You understand me? Right, leaves. 005. Shall we do this? Look, we're so ahead of ourselves. Let's do the leaves. They're easy. Like, see the leaves? Like that. Let's do that first. So the first thing is, right, we're going to go up there, and then we'll start coming round. Nice. Have I got the right glasses on? Yeah, that'll do. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to put my Dame Edna's on. I'm a real... Oh, yeah. Now I can see what I'm doing. Cool. What a difference that makes. Now, do you know that at 11 o'clock this morning, lovely Tina Cox is on TV? She is, you know. She's on Create and Craft. So I'm going to make sure that we finish a couple of minutes early so that you have time to switch over and find her. I'm telling you, craft, this kind of stuff, for me is the solution. You know what I was saying about losing my way, and I have for the last while. I find doing artwork, just simple cards. I haven't done any pottery either for ages because I've just lost my way. There you go. And I'm sure you understand. So I'm starting with simple things, keeping you company, doodles. This is nice. Look, this is going to look lovely. Blogs, barbaragrayblog.com. Right, there's the other thing. See, I've neglected that. I've neglected my blog. So before we even went live this morning, I did a really nice, because I'm into the panel thing. I really like the panel art. I like long, thin artwork like this. I find it easy to do as well. That's the other thing, because you're kind of breaking it down into smaller pieces, aren't you? And it's exactly what my head can handle at the moment. And so this morning, I was having a quick tidy up, and I came across some super dies, and then they look pretty. So I came across some super dies, and I'm going to show you them because they're called A Room with a View, and they're dies that Mel Turner, our friend Mel, designed, and they're really, really lovely. And I thought, right, that's it. I know what I'm going to do. And I just started making some artwork, just a couple of cards. I thought, yeah. And then I thought, actually, we really need to rustle up some funds. So then I thought, right, I'm going to show you these as well, because we're going to do like a really good sale on them. They're so beautiful. Look, Room with a View. So let me show you. There's 1, 2. So we've got sunshine. Then we've got cows in the field. Look, really lovely. Panel. Look at all the panels. That's why I'm showing you. That's what brought me to this, I think. Country cottages. Look, this is like going on the bus from Crowborough to Brighton. This is exactly what you see. South Downs. Then we've got this one, driver in the country. So look, little car. This is so cool. And then, as if that weren't enough, this one is brilliant because you've got all these tiny little panels, like bijou panels. Look, all the same ones. Look at that. So these are four little dies. Look, the little mini dies. So I took the first one, and I'm going to show you what I did, because I think this artwork's really nice. Let me show you. Look, there's a nice panel. See? And there's the other half of the same die. So all what I did was, I really like this. It was dead easy as well. Look, there's that one. And there's that one. And it's one die, it's one piece, and I just cut it in half. But the point is that this is just beautiful panel work. Yeah. And it's no different in size to this, really. So I've done a step-by-step on this. I've done a step-by-step. I did it this morning because I'm used to, I took photographs, and when I'm finished here, after I've watched Tina, I'm going to do a really lovely step-by-step project on barbaragrayblog.com. And then Paul and I are going to rustle up a really good sale, like proper half price bargain, because these are beautiful dies and we've got loads of them in the cupboard. But I think they're lovely, and they'll make beautiful Christmas cards. They make any sort of card. The style that Mel has is very arty, very what you'd buy in a shop. You know, it's beautiful. So there you go. So look out for barbaragrayblog.com, and I'll show you how to mock this up, because you can see it's got glitter. If you look here, you can see the glitter. Yeah. So I'll show you. It's not glitter paper in the background. I'll show you. It's just a very simple demo, but nice to do. Nice to do. So I'll show you that after Tina. And other than that, I'm going to see you. Let's have a look. I'll see you on Monday. And what you need on Monday, I did put it together. Yeah, because I thought, right, we're going to do the lines on Monday when we get together. You can either do it beforehand if you want to catch up, but if you wanted to do the lines in the flowers, feel free. And then on Monday, if you fancy it, I'm going to use mix mat. I'm going to show you how to use the watercolor pencils, the pergoliners, the mix mat, and also, she said, grabbing it quickly, is the some water brushes. So we'll use them, that and that. And that's what we'll use to create a really arty background. We'll do some negative art. And what I mean, excuse me, by that is we'll leave the flowers white. And I think that will look really, really cool. So there you go, my friends. I think I'll just give you one more if you want to take a screen grab of that. That's where we're going to pick up on Monday. I'll do the stripes. I'll do the stripes on Monday. And then we'll just carry on where we left off. How's that? And I hope that you have time to pop in and see Tina. I hope that you have time to pop in and follow the step-by-step project that I did early this morning that I'm gonna write up later. And I hope you take advantage of the brilliant room with a view sale that we're going to have. And other than that, I think it's been a great session. I've enjoyed myself thoroughly. I hope you have. And Paul, thank you so much for your help. Have a great weekend. Don't forget, Tina's on in a couple of minutes. So quick potty break, tea break, and then back on Create and Craft. Thanks very much. Lots of love to you all. Bye-bye now.